Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sakshi. If you're watching me for the first time, then I'm an Indian living in Berlin, Germany for over 3 years now. And in this video, I want to walk you through how to get a job in Germany. So me and my husband, we both are working in Germany for over 3 years now. He got the job in Germany from India and I got job after moving here. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through both the scenarios of how you can get the job from India and also how you can get job once you move here in Germany. So we're going to talk about both the scenarios. I'm going to walk you through exactly step by step what you need to be doing, what you should be preparing to get a job, and the whole process of how the German market works. So if you are interested in this video, make sure you stick around till the end, like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And now let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the key things that you should have in place if you're applying for job in Germany, whether you're applying for job in Germany from India or you're applying for job from here being in Germany. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that you should have in place before you start applying. For example, things to cover in your resume, things to cover in your cover letter, things you should have on your LinkedIn, things like that that I wish someone would have told me so that it could have fast-tracked my process a little bit more. So let's cover some of the non-negotiables that you should have in place before you actually start applying for the job. First thing, let's talk about your resume. How you have resumes in India is really different of how Germans do their resume, right? Because in India, there is just one page, black and white, and that's it, right? But here in Germany, the resumes are very different. Here, the resumes are colorful, number one, and they are not just one page. You can take your resume for up to 2 to 3 pages or even more. They just like to have more text written on your resume, which gives detailed information of what you have done, projects that you have worked on, which company you were in, things like that. But they want to know every detail of every project that you work, and so you can take your resume for 2 to 3 to 5 pages. And also in your resume, it is highly appreciated, or your resume stands out if you have your picture on your resume as well. So on the top right corner of your resume, you can have a passport size photo of yours, which is again should be colorful, and it will just make your resume stand out, and you will get noticed really quickly if you have your picture on your resume as well. Another thing is that when you're writing your resume, I would highly recommend you to highlight all the keywords. Keywords meaning the things that were mentioned in the job description and you have worked on that and it is mentioned on your resume. So you would want to highlight those keywords. And let me give you an example. If you're applying for a product manager job and they wrote in the job description that you should have experience in Agile, right? So if you have experience in Agile, I would recommend you to highlight the experience that you have worked in Agile, things like that. And if you have worked in, say, customer acquisition, so you would want to highlight that whatever project you worked on did 15% increase in customer acquisition, and then the further line. So just highlight the things that makes you stand out, number one, like what was the final outcome that you got after working on that project, right? So for example, 15% customer acquisition. And then you want to highlight the keywords that were mentioned in the job description that you have on your resume as well. And another thing that you would want to add in your resume is your German level. So meaning that if you are applying in a German company, and even if that company operates in English, but if you have the knowledge of German, then it just gives you additional benefit, of course, right? So for example, if you are A1 German level or B1 German level, whatever it is, I would recommend you to really highlight it that your German level is A1, it is fluent, or you're beginner, or whatever it is, but highlight your whatever German level that you're on. And even if you don't know German, right, then you can just say that I am A1 beginner, and you can start learning German while you're in India or while you're applying for jobs, because it definitely gives you an add-on benefit. Now let's talk about your cover letter. So when you're applying for a job in Germany, they will always ask you for cover letter. And most of the time that I've seen that people just upload one cover letter which they have made, and they keep uploading to all the companies. But if you want to fast track your process, I would recommend you to keep your cover letter separate as from your resume. Like, obviously, these should be two different documents. And number two, make it personalized to the job that you're applying. So, for example, you would want to highlight what makes you stand out and why they should hire you for the job that you're applying, right? That's the one thing. Second thing is highlight your personality. Like, how are you a good fit to fit into European culture, German culture, and how you would bring benefit to their company. Why should they choose you, right? Really highlight your personality and make it personalized to the particular job that you're applying for in Germany. Another thing is that when you're applying for a job and when you're making it personalized for a company, you also want to highlight your visa status and when can you join the company, when is your availability. So for example, if you are already in Germany like I was basically ready to start work wherever I would get work, right? So I had the work permit already. So I highlighted this in my resume that I do have a work permit, I don't need any sponsorship, and I can join immediately. So that gave me a huge benefit. So this is something that you want to highlight in your resume as well, that even if you're applying for India and you want the sponsorship, however, you want to highlight that you can join in, say, 3 months or 1 month, because in India some company accepts 1 month of notice period, some company accepts 3 months, and whatever your company accepts, just mention it on your resume, cover letter, and you want to make it super clear about your visa status and your availability. Now let's talk about the documents that you would need if you're applying for a job in Germany. So one of the main requirement in documents is that you have to be studied from a recognized university, and your university should be recognized in Germany. And how will you find it out? You can find it out from this ZAB. I don't know how to pronounce the full form of this ZAB, but I will mention the link in the description box below. You can just check the link and put your university or college that you have studied from, and it will tell you if it's recognized in Germany or not. But this is one of the main criteria, that your university should be recognized in Germany from ZAB. Another thing is that once you start applying for a job, you have to be on point with all your paperwork, because Germany really operates on paperwork, and it will really surprise you that everything here is done on paper and very less things are digitalized. And that is why you want to have all your documents, original photocopy, just ready with you. So for example, if you get job, and next step would be initiating your visa process, and initiating your visa process is a big deal because you will need a lot of paperwork in that. And I have created a separate video of how to initiate your visa process for your spouse. If you have not checked that video, or if you want to refer to that video, make sure you check in the description box below. I will mention the link there of how to get spouse visa in Germany, and like how they can work, what visa should you apply. I have talked about that in detail in that video. But even if you are applying for job for yourself and it's not the spouse that you are considering right now, or you're unmarried, make sure all your paperwork are on point, so that even if they ask you in the interview, you have all the answers, you have all the paper, and you can be very confident in answering the questions around the paperwork that they are asking you, because they will ask you, because they are very particular about the paperwork. Now let's talk about what are the portals that you should be using to apply for jobs in Germany. So in India, one of the most used platform to look for jobs is LinkedIn, and so it is in Germany as well. But in Germany, there is one more website that a lot of people upload their resume, look for jobs, apply for jobs, and even recruiters are very active, and this is Zinc. So in Germany, LinkedIn and Zinc are given equal importance, and you want to have your updated files on both these platforms. So one of the very important things is that you should have both the profiles absolutely updated with your last job experience, where you worked, what was your designation, for how long you worked, all the responsibilities that you handled under that job, like from when you started till your current state. So both the profiles, LinkedIn and Zinc, both should be updated as per your current status of job. Now, another thing that you want to consider to update on LinkedIn and Zinc is your headline, which is extremely important, because when recruiters are coming to your profile, this is the first thing that they will see is what is your headline, right? So, two things that you want to mention in the headline. Number one is that what is the job opening that you're looking for. So for example, if you're looking for job in Germany as a product manager, then you want to highlight that I am looking for job in Germany as a product manager. This is my experience, whatever your experience is. What is your visa status and when can you join? These are the things that you want to mention so that recruiter can really see your current status and then proceed accordingly with your profile. But having some keywords like product manager, what is your experience, and your visa status, your availability, having these things clearly mapped out and making yourself stand out and making it easy for recruiter to understand your status, your availability, your experience will fast track your process even more. Now, let's talk about how to apply for jobs once you have updated your profile on LinkedIn and or Zinc. So when you are updated, when you're applying for jobs, when you're looking for jobs in Germany, make sure that you also make some connections for the people working in that company. So for example, one of the really known companies here in Berlin, Germany is Zalando and N26, right? So if you're applying for jobs, say for example in Zalando, you want to make some connections in Zalando as well. And when you are making connections, when you're sending them the request, send them a personalized note. Why should they accept your request and what are you looking forward from that connection, right? So I would mention in my personalized notes that, hey, I see that you're working in Zalando and I see that there is a job opening and I'm looking to apply for that. I would really appreciate a connection with you because it will help me understand how Zalando works and basically understand how the whole process works in Zalando, something like that. I would mention it, and when the connection started, like if the person would accept my connection, I would start chatting to understand how the company works so that I can prepare myself for the interview. But it's really important that you make the connection personalized by adding a personalized note and really being open to asking questions and understanding how the company operates so that you can show up on the interview with more confidence. Now that we are talking about making connections on these platforms, I want to give you some tips that you can use in order to fast track your process to make more connections, get more job openings, and apply to them in a faster way. So, number one is that you can make connections on LinkedIn and Zing, as we have already talked about. And one of the key things is that you want to make those connections really personalized in the notes section, and you want to start conversations, right? Because what will happen is that you will not only get the knowledge of how the company operates so that you feel really confident in your interview, but it will also help you in future that just in case you don't get the job right now, they can apply or refer you later on when the new opening comes up. So this will be a win-win for both of you, that you will get the job and they will get the referral bonus, which is quite high in Germany, right? So making connections is really a win-win for both the parties, where they're getting the referral bonus, you can ask for referrals in future, and you're getting job in Germany. So making connections more personalized, not like putting your questions on their face and just asking questions, it's not a good way of approaching. Like, you have to think why that person should help you, what's in it for him or her, right? And you have to be very leaned, you don't have to be, I'm asking you these questions so you have to answer all of that. No, this is not how it works. You just have to be really leaned and very with a calm personality. Be thankful that they're answering questions for you, they're helping you and walking you through the journey of how you can get a job in whatever company that you're applying for. That being said, LinkedIn and Zing, this is how they operate. Now, other ways that you can make connections is by meeting people in Facebook groups. There are tons of Facebook group for Germany. So Indians in Berlin, Indian women in Berlin, Indian ladies in Berlin. There are so many groups. If you search with keywords on Facebook, you will find groups. So make sure you join those groups. You connect with people on Facebook, send them a message that you're looking for a job, and if their company has any opening, things like that. Make connections again, ask for referrals, and it will take you a long way. Facebook groups is a great deal. Second thing is that if you're also making connections, there is an app called as Meetup. Meetup is the app where people basically creates events and they meet in person. But benefit for you that now all the meetups are happening online because of COVID that is shaken the world, and everyone has shifted to online world now, because obviously, and you can take the benefit of that and join the Meetup app. There are events already being created, and you can join those events online, make connections and talk to people. Networking will take you a long way in Germany, and people are really open because, especially in Berlin, it's a city full of expats, right? And everyone is making connections with everyone. And if you are making good connections, it can really benefit you in many ways, especially if you want to get referrals, if you want to apply for a job in any company, you want to understand the culture of any company, things like that. So really make connections in Facebook groups, meetup apps, and things like that. So how I got job in Germany is a little bit different. I got hired through an agency. Now, I don't know how that agency found me. I believe it was only through LinkedIn, because that's where I was only active on. I was not very active on Zing, but I did have my profile there. But this guy from the agency contacted me, asked me if I'm still looking for a job, because he could see my profile on LinkedIn that I'm looking for a job, I'm available right now, and things like that. So he contacted me, and when I said yes, that I'm still looking for a job, he did a quick interview with me, like only for 10-15 minutes, where he asked me some basic questions to understand that if I was a good fit as a product manager in this company that I was applying for. So he asked me a couple of questions for 10-15 minutes. We were a good fit. Then he passed on my profile to the company, where HR contacted me again. So HR contacted me. I had a HR round. Then I had two technical rounds. and then one round with the director of the company, and finally I was hired. This whole process took me 2 weeks to like have my first conversation with the guy from the agency to finally getting my offer letter in hand. And after 2 weeks, I literally joined the company. So this is how within a 1 month, like 2 weeks of the process, and then after 2 weeks, I joined the company. Within a 1 month, I went from having no job to getting a job in Germany. And this is why I would recommend you to always keep your LinkedIn profile and Zing profile also updated. So even if the agency or contractors are contacting you, then they know your updated status and it will fast track your process very much. Now let's talk about how my husband Ugam got job from India in Germany. He had this profile updated on LinkedIn because I guess he also didn't know about Zinc, but he was very active on LinkedIn, number one. Number two, he was sending personalized notes. As I told you in the starting of the video, he was making connections with people. And one of the main thing that he did, that he looked for a job in this company in which he was hired initially, and he sent a personalized note to the recruiter. Meaning, say for example, he applied for the job in a particular company, in a company say X, I don't want to say the company name, but he applied for the job in this company in which he saw there is a job opening, and he saw that the recruiter's details were also there. So he sent a personalized email to the recruiter, and that's how his process got initiated. But the key here is again making personalized connection either with people of the company, like the employees of the company, or the recruiter itself. So he wrote an detailed email to the recruiter. It's just like a cover letter, but really making his personality stand out, why he would be a good fit for the company, why that app that he was really passionate about in the company had the app, why that app really excited him, things like that, right? Because he was already using that app that he got hired in. So that's the key thing that he did, that he sent a personalized email to the recruiter itself. So in the description box below, I will mention two links. First one is the Zap link, in which you can check if the university that you have studied is approved in Germany or not. Second thing is that I will mention the link of the website. I guess the website name is Eurobus, and in that website you can go and create your German specific resume, and it will guide you everything that a German resume should have. So it will really help you to create a resume that is accepted in Germany. So that's what I have for you in this video. If you're applying for a job in Germany, either from India or from Germany itself, I really hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on Instagram. I always reply to all the messages, or you can drop the comment below and I will let you know whatever information I have around the question that you have. Really hope this video was helpful. If you enjoyed this video, if this video was helpful to you, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week very soon. Till then, goodbye and have a great day and a great week.